What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Investing Bros. And today is going to be a fantastic day for a multitude of reasons. Probably the biggest one, the ones you guys really care about. You didn't know what I was going to say right there, did you? It's the ETF. You guys care about the ETF. Everyone cares about the ETF. More than likely, we will be seeing an ETF approval happening maybe a little over an hour from now. We probably will run long. We're probably not going to wait till 6, but early expectations at this point is that we're going to wait until after we close out the day of trading. Then we will see the approval from the SEC. Of course, we learned a very heavy lesson yesterday. We're not going to just be looking at Twitter to see if it gets approved. We're going to be looking at the SEC's website itself. I'm hoping, honestly, what I would really love to see is a press conference of Gary Gensler himself. But we will suffice with the website. But there's something else that's really big that's happening today. Some of you guys might know what it is. Some of you might have even commented already in the chat. And that is the Investing Bros have crossed 7,000 subscribers. We did it last night, which means there will be a giveaway in this video. Now, we're not going to give it away during this video. This is the video that you guys will be entering to win. So, just as we get into today's stream, before I tell you how you can win, you're going to have to wait on that one. Because I'm going to introduce my co-host for the day, Mr. T. Shroom from down there in Gainesville, Florida. T. Shroom, how are you feeling on this ETF/Investing Bros 7,000 subscribers day? It will be known from here on out as that holiday name.
Was that the end of the question?
Maybe. You never know. Yeah.
I could have used more mileage on that question, I'm being honest with you.
Honestly, you could have, yeah.
I'm feeling better than I could have ever deserved, Tim. We got what we deserve here as a community. We got the sloppiest approval. We haven't gotten it yet.
Oh.
We've gotten the sloppiest, the most inconsistent and craziest, most manic and chaotic couple of last 24 hours. And it's only going to get, I think it's going to get even more chaotic here. We have yet to see the panic truly ensue. All right. Well, I've got an awesome quote here for us. It comes to us from a Stoic. We haven't heard from a Stoic in a while. This is Epictetus. Said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." And Tim, I think you and I probably break this rule quite a bit. Considering
I was going to say it's an awkward quote for a live show where we have to speak for an entire hour. That is the good part of us being a two-man show, because I'm long-winded, you're long-winded, so one of us gets to breathe while the other one speaks.
That's right.
It's a phenomenal dynamic we have going on here.
Yeah.
So it's a good quote, though. It is a good quote. I very much agree with it. When I am not in front of a camera talking about crypto, I try to listen more than I speak, but might not do well all the time. Some of you are going to have to ask my wife, Taylor, how I perform at that. T-Shroom, good quote. Let's dive in. Before we jump into crypto, let's talk about this $100 giveaway. First of all, T-Shroom.
Yes.
How are we going to – I don't even know if we've really discussed this. Guys, we're going to give $100 away.
Yeah.
How we're going to do that, I don't know if T-Shroom – are we just going to send $100 a Tether? Are we going to send $100 a Bitcoin, Cardano? Do we ask the person what they want it to be in when they win? How are we going to send this money to them?
I mean, considering how sophisticated we are, we can pretty much do whatever. If you want dollars –
yeah.
I have an Uphold wallet, so I can technically send any foreign currency as well, or most foreign currencies. So whatever you want. You want Pax G? You want gold?
Do you want it in Chuck E. Cheese tokens? We can slice.
That might be a big perk of the Investing Bros. When we do giveaways, you name the currency you want.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Well, here is how you can be entered to win. First of all, you do have to be subscribed to the channel. Of course, it's a reward for getting 7,000 subscribers. So that is number one. You got to subscribe to the channel. Also, you have to follow myself, T-Shroom, and the Investing Bros Twitter account.
You do.
And then the last thing that you have to do is in the comment section, not the chat. So what you will have to do, guys, you'll have to come, even if you have 24 hours to do this. So even if you have to come back a little bit later tonight, you got to comment below this video. What did we say, T-Shroom, they have to comment? There's a specific word. There's a phrase that they have to comment. Did we say it already?
Approved.
Approved. That's all you have to say. Approved. and I will go through, we will sort through, and we will randomly select one comment that says approved. We will check on if they're following Twitter and if they're subscribed and everything. But once you hit approved, you're entered to win the $100 giveaway. We will be announcing that tomorrow. So you don't want to just watch this show and then comment. You want to also come back tomorrow to find out if you win. What we might even do is maybe select a couple winners in case the winner doesn't say it. We'll select a backup in case we can't get a hold of the winner, and then we'll have a secondary one. But with that said, guys, thank you so much for coming in here. It is going to be a fun show. We are expecting, I said this in the intro in case you guys are just joining, we are expecting more than likely within about an hour and some change to officially hear that we have an approval of the Bitcoin ETFs. Now, what's crazy, T-Shroom, Bitcoin's volatility has been pretty nuts. We're going to take a look at it here in just a second. But you know what coin is going off right now on all of the speculation? Go ahead and go over to my screen. It's Ethereum.
Yeah.
Ethereum it went to a new high for 2023. We crossed above 2,400, almost made it to 2,500. You guys will see there's a pattern here that Ethereum's playing out. We are kind of, getting slowed down by this rising level of resistance. But here's what I'm going to start off. We might go into deeper Ethereum. Part of what we might do in today's show is especially if you get towards the end of the show and we're waiting for an announcement, we're not going to stay live till 6 o'clock, but we might stay live till like 4:30, maybe closer to 5, just seeing if we can hold off until we get an official announcement. But we'll look at some trade setups on some coins that you guys want to see. But Ethereum hitting a new high for the year. Could this be, T-Shroom? Is this speculation that the Ethereum ETF is not going to be far behind, and Ethereum holders are already preparing themselves for that by Ethereum hasn't had an explosive rally. It's rallied a little bit here and there, but kind of stayed boring compared to other cryptos. Is it about to be Ethereum's turn to rally explosively and leave the rest of crypto behind?
Well, Tim, it sounds like you might be subscribed to me over on Twitter, formerly known as X, because I tweeted something along these lines today. I said, market might be starting to price in the BTC ETF approval into the future to allocate to the next big trade. So, and I had a screenshot here of Bitcoin down 1.5, Ethereum up 3%. I think that you might be onto something there, Tim, and I heard in some X spaces, some very sophisticated operators. I wasn't really paying attention. I was doing some other stuff, had it on in the background. But there's some pretty sophisticated traders making that very assertion, is that we may have actually seen some of the topping for Bitcoin here. Now, you have the halving, so obviously Bitcoin's going to go higher in the probably the midterm. But again, this is speculation, that Bitcoin is kind of topped out, 27. We might see it get back up there and some volatility, but that a lot of the heavy liquidity is actually going to be rotating into Ethereum to get in early on what could be the bottom here for Ethereum, and what could be a very, very bullish move for the speculation around the spot Ethereum ETF. Going to have to get used to saying that one. It's going to be hard because I've been saying spot Bitcoin ETF over and over and over every single day. But there it is.
Yeah. Well, here's what's going to be interesting, because there's going to be chaos, and we're going to speculate here in just a couple of minutes. Bitcoin dipping here as we're speaking. We'll go back to the charts. Go to my screen though, because this is some news, not breaking as in the last couple of minutes, but breaking this afternoon. We're waiting for the ETF approval, but it is looking like we are already the plan. We kind of speculate on this. The plan is not just one, but several ETFs could be trading, not just approved. This is two different processes. Approved and trading are two different things. They look like they could be trading tomorrow. And if you're sitting here wondering, hey, are we about to get a sell the top event in Bitcoin? I think that we do see a spike in price when we get the approval. The question is that a quick wick, like to 50, 53, and then a very quick wick back down? T-Shroom and I have disagreed on the amount of volatility that we're going to see, but I think we're both in agreement that the next couple of days will be volatile in the crypto space, and definitely for Bitcoin. But here's what throws a wrench in, is that if you told me that we're going to have the approval, but then we're waiting for when the actual trading begins, I think there's a good chance that Bitcoin goes really high and then falls really far down quickly. But with this saying over at Watchdog Guru, we're going to see VanEck, Fidelity, Franklin, ARK Invest, WisdomTree, Invesco Galaxy. They're already prepared to be trading tomorrow. Now, again, we have not heard an approval from Gary Gensler and the SEC. We have not heard that they're going to be given the green light to trade tomorrow. But darn it, if they are given it tonight, they will be up and operational tomorrow morning. Mm-hmm. That will be massively bullish, I do believe, for Bitcoin because it will bring in a lot of money. Again, there's a lot of places speculating anywhere between $1 to $6 billion could be flowing into Bitcoin in the next couple of weeks. And some of that should be starting the day that it opens. So whether that's tomorrow or sometime next week or sometime a month from now, there will be billions flowing in here, and that is going to be bullish. I'm sure people are going to be taking profits, and that's why there's going to be crazy volatility. But ultimately, if this is true, T-Shroom, I see prices going up into the right after an approval. What about you?
I think so too. My final analysis is I do think that we're still going to see movement to the upside from Bitcoin tomorrow. Today. That will be at market close when I expect 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when I expect the SEC to go ahead and publish on their website that they're going to approve the spot Bitcoin ETF, and we'll see prices move up and to the right. However, I do think they're already asking in the chat. I think it was Gustavo. Is this a good? Gustavo was asking, is this a good time to buy ETH?
Let's do it.
And I don't know. I'm not so sure. I mean, it's very, you don't buy high and sell low, right? But you can buy high and sell higher if you're starting into a bull market. One thing I wanted to say about the ETFs.
I'm sorry, T-Shirt. At least while you're speaking, go to my chart. Just show my chart. We're moving on Bitcoin, and I'm going to explain. You're going to see two white lines on this chart. I'm going to explain what those are. But T-Shirt, I just wanted people to see this. You keep talking though. We'll keep going. Yeah,
for sure. I appreciate it. So there's a difference. So what is happening today? What did that tweet really mean that Tim just showed? So there's going to be a futures market opened up on the ETFs themselves. So it's not a new spot market for futures or paper, whatever you want to call it. This is actually a paper market on top of the ETFs, which are on top of the spot. If that makes sense, if it doesn't make sense to you, that's okay. All you need to know is Bitcoin price go up, not financial advice. But this is actually how the gold markets are suppressed, is they have all of these different ETFs for gold and gold mining companies, and then they have futures on top of that. That leads to kind of a sag in the market because there's all this synthetic supply and it's still a limited amount of demand. If you were to erase the futures markets and the all the paper markets that kind of sit on top, the derivatives that sit on top of the spot markets, the actual mining companies, the actual gold in custody that's the underlying assets of the ETFs, you would have a lot less supply for the demand. It's not quite that simple. But that is kind of the mechanism that JP Morgan and other banks have been able to use to suppress the price of gold. That, of course, is the going theory. I'm not saying that's 100% fact. I believe it. I believe that the gold price has been suppressed for probably more than 2 decades. But this is the means that they do this. Now, you say T-Shroom. There's already been futures markets on the spot of Bitcoin. That's correct. Have we seen much suppression of it? Probably not. But there has been certainly manipulation. We cover it almost every week. There's some instances that gives us reason to speculate that there's been manipulation, and a lot of that can find its origin in kind of synthetic spreads in the futures markets. Okay, said a lot, but basically there's a whole new tool for hedge funds and for investment banks to come in and try to suppress the price of Bitcoin. It's not what we want as Bitcoin hodlers, right, wanting the price to go higher, but we've yet to see if it's really going to be effective because at the end of the day, we just don't know. This is untested territory. Cryptocurrency, as familiar as we are with it, is still very, very new. So I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention that there is definitely a difference between the futures market for the spot Bitcoin, which we've already seen. There's already ETFs of those futures, right? Yeah. And now there's going to be paper on top of the spot ETF, so it's different. Wall Street's very complicated, but ultimately there's just a lot more paper out there, which does provide a bit of a sag in the demand for Bitcoin exposure. Well,
T-Shroom, let's talk price action now. And I need you, while I'm talking price, I need you to do some research just in case there was any news. Because while we were talking, which, by the way, great explanation there, we dumped from 46.4 all the way wicking down to 44.8, and now we're trading back up around 45,600.
Mm-hmm.
Try to see if there's any news. Again, I was scrolling through my phone, not seeing anything approval, not seeing anything breaking, but T-Shroom to be able to do a better job. I'll explain it. Now, let's talk price action here. I was right as T-Shroom was speaking there. I told you guys I have two white horizontal lines drawn on my chart right now. Let me explain to you what those are. Those are two buy orders. Why does Tim have buy orders down that far? Well, you guys are beginning to see why. Because the volatility is coming in pretty nuts. Now, we didn't get all the way down there, but there's a reason why I didn't put my buy order in somewhere right here. I put them down lower. And a part of me was almost hoping like, hey, Tim, hopefully you don't get in these buy orders. But I just had this feeling that whether right leading up to the news or potentially after we get the news, we could see a massive dip come first, followed by a spike. So this is the time that you guys want to be looking at levels. Don't just take my levels. I'm going to explain to you what my levels are. Don't copy trade me, because in case I get wrecked, I don't want you to get wrecked too. But I have a reason as to why I chose my levels. The first one is sitting here at 44,400. Now, a couple of reasons why I'm choosing it. First of all, this is pretty close to the area. I don't want to go to the exact edge of the wick, but it's pretty close to where we wick down to early this morning during our little flash crash earlier, right? But the other thing is when you start to bring up our LUX Algo indicators. First of all, I am seeing on the hourly chart, after we had a nice rally, we're keeling over, we're moving to the downside, and we have a pretty decent size order block sitting right here. These, by the way, when you're looking at order blocks to the downside, you want to see where the red is a little bit more overextended than the green. You want to see where there's more sellers than buyers at that area. This order block coming in right here, a little bit, above, but pretty much at that area, 44.4, is looking enticing. It's saying it's 39%. So right now, of the close within range order blocks that the price wants to move to on the hourly chart, 39% are saying right here towards 44.4. You're going to see some to the upside, 25% way up here, almost to 47. We do have 20% down here at 43.3. We'll talk about that in a second. We also see some more down here towards 42.8. But as a whole, I am seeing some order blocks coming in right here that look really important, and they match the price, of course, of the dip this morning. Could be a place that, again, when institutions miss the boat, they bring the boat back. If this is within striking distance, this would be perfect during a season of chaos where people are selling and buying and selling and buying to bring the price back this far. So I do have an order put right now for 44,400. Right. Now, what is this one doing down here? Let's come out a little bit further and let's go to the 4-hour. And then I'm going to show you liquidations here as well. This one is going to have a little more. Of course, on the 4-hour chart, we also have an order block down here. Of course, we still have that order block at 43.4 as well. So there's that one as well. But my thought is if we choose 44.4, I have a stop loss come in somewhere here around 43,000. So I'll be completely fine. I'm like, fine, whatever. I lost this one. Let's go ahead and watch the next level. 42.5, 42.4 is going to be my area. Order block here on the 4-hour chart. Also, when you take down this LUX Algo indicators here, you'll see this was a level that we actually had already in the place that was a great buy here just a couple of days ago when we wicked down to this level. So literally, this is another price action. Within the last couple of days, we have had not a scam wick, but a very long wick below a candle, wick all the way down to that level, and then bounce right back up. It is also the top of the last quarter. I mean, it's a little bit different. It's not the perfect price, but look in this same area, 42.2. This was the high of quarter. What is this? Quarter 3 of 2024. Right now, we're still trading within. We're looking at it's in October, so quarter 3 pretty much. Quarterly breaks, like where we end quarters and when we start quarters, are very important. So you do see a lot of confluence down here. I am hoping we don't drop that far. But when I see all the confluence of other times we've come down to this almost exact range, and the fact that this is, when you talk about larger investors, whale investors, doing more research and doing more digging and watching other influencers, I want you guys to know, especially now that institutional money is coming in, these candles on quarterly candles and yearly candles are going to become very significant because a lot of companies make their decisions based off of major long time. Like, they're not going down to the hourly. They're not going down to the 4-hour. Some of them barely look at the daily. A lot of them like looking at weekly and monthly and quarterly and yearly charts to do their big buys and sells. And those areas are very, very important to keep an eye on. So that is why at the moment I have two, what I would almost deem chaos / doomsday orders, right? I have tight stop losses on them. I don't want to lose a bunch of money, but I am prepared for chaos to come out to the downside. Also, when I come over here and I'm looking at my liquidations, I see some kind of affirmation that these levels are pretty significant. The first one, of course, remember 44.4? Well, that's going to be right down here where, yeah, we have some fat yellow liquidations above us, all the way up here towards 47, but we also have yellow below us. And if we're about to take off into the 50s, or if we're going to start making new all-time highs, like let's say we never go below 40,000 ever again, like we're done below 40,000. Well, they're going to want to go ahead and clear out these liquidations because they're within striking distance and they have the right type of excuse to go that far to the downside. So that's my first level. And then, again, confluence, I like the other levels, but you clear out a lot once you cross below 43,000. Coming down to 42.5, not that big of a deal. Would be easy, schmeezy. I have my stop loss a little bit below that, so even if it goes a little deeper, that's completely fine. I like looking at the confluence of areas to choose my spots. That is what I'm looking at here on Bitcoin at the moment. And again, we're seeing longer time frames. This is why I'm still bullish. Larger time frames are showing us flashes of bullishness. 4 hour did just flash a green momentum dot, meaning, hey, there's some bullishness in the market right now. Hourly chart overwhelmingly is still moving to the upside. It keeled over, giving us a sell block right here, a sell little dot, gray dot right there. So that's why I still think that we have some room below us. But as a whole, it's the shorter time frames giving us some chaos. Longer time frames kind of telling us, hey, we can still be making moves to the upside for sure. Now, on both of these orders that I put my stop. I took my take profit at 52,000. I believe we get a little higher. I think we get closer to 53. But as Tishum and I have discussed in the past, we do think that the next 24 hours could get pretty stinking volatile. I think we could dip down to 44,000, if not even maybe down towards 42,000. I think we also could shoot up above 50,000, maybe make a push towards 53, maybe higher. Either way, if you're thinking you're going to sit on the sideline and wait and say, all right, the price, all right, slow now. Literally, the second your eyeball registers that it's at the price you want to buy, by the time you hit click, even if you have the sale, if you have the trade set up, by the time you click enter, that price could have shot back up $3,000. That's how crazy some of this volatility can get. So I want you guys to be prepared. This is probably the time that you're putting in limit orders, you're putting in stop losses, and you're putting in take profits. Do not try to ride this wave like a cowboy on a bucking bronco. You're gonna get wrecked when you could have made some money. Have some common sense entry points, some common sense stop losses, and some common sense take profits. Don't try to just wing this one. You're gonna get hurt in the process. We'll take a look at some other coins, but T-Shirt, what are you thinking when you're looking at what we're seeing in price action, when you're looking at my charts? Did you see any breaking news that we need to know about?
I have not seen any breaking news on the website that matters so far. The SEC.gov website, I've got it here. I'm refreshing it like a madman. We did get an update today. SEC charges global software company SAP for FCPA violations unrelated to the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETF. But that probably sent some people who use some minute-by-minute traders for some hedge funds' hearts into a loop, seeing that January 10th date on the refresh page there. It certainly sent mine. However, this is not the headline we're looking for. This is just another day in the SEC, life of the SEC. So glad I don't work over there. But yeah, I'm also got a couple of tabs open here with some other kind of news feeds, making sure that I'm not missing a beat. Tim, you're doing a great job over there on the charts. I've got a couple of headlines I wanted to send to you guys. I see some spiciness in the chat. Ahmed,
what's spiciness in chat?
Ahmed asked, ETH ETF application was submitted by BlackRock. Is that right? Yes. And I believe
I'm
one or two
I'm
others
assuming
as well.
the SEC. I'm assuming that ETH application is sitting on a desk somewhere at the SEC and has not really been touched. They're focusing their man hours and few brain cells they have over there at the SEC squarely on Bitcoin at the moment. Once they approve it, it actually becomes, I've heard some people say it might take longer. I think it's common sense to think when we get a Bitcoin ETF, I'm not saying we're going to see Ethereum ETF approved like next week, but I don't think we're going to see a very long process before they approve. Maybe they want to wait like a month or two to kind of see some of the blowback from the Bitcoin stuff before they just rush into issuing another one. But there really shouldn't be that much of a blocking between the Bitcoin ETF being approved and then them going after Ethereum as well.
I got a couple other comments that caught my eye here. C90FTW said, T-Shroom on every channel I watch today. He's everywhere. That's right.
You have been busy today.
In a lot of places.
Yeah.
And then had some unhinged commentary here from looks like a new folk is Crypto Let's Go said if they were going to approve it, they would have already. Getting ready to announce it's postponed to crash it further. So then a little bit more unhinged. This is the headline I want to show you guys to really combat that. What were you going to say, Tim?
I was just say, I was thinking about that earlier, but guys, this is Gary Gensler. He waits to the last second to do anything. Are we really surprised that he's waiting? I also think, again, here's another reason why you're going to wait. I think no matter when he approved it, I don't think he was going to approve it when the markets were open anyway. So, he could have approved it last night or the night before. But that's another reason why, guys, we're expecting an announcement shortly after 4 p.m. when the markets are closed. He wants to give the issuers as much time as possible and investors as much time as possible. If he were to approve that right here, right now at 3:26, right, that would be chaos for the last half hour of the market being open. No matter when he does it, he's going to approve it out of hours. So it makes sense for him. It makes sense for him to delay everything and wait till the end. It also makes sense for him to wait till the markets are closed.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Kathy Woods was on Bloomberg ETF IQ, which is getting a lot more airtime. The shot's gone away from her. There she is again. We're not going to listen to it because it's like a 13-minute clip. But the headline that matters here, ARK's Kathy Woods says SEC hack shouldn't delay Bitcoin ETF decision. A little bit of a weak term here, kind of soft. Could have said won't delay Bitcoin ETF decision. But this kind of leaning on the side of optimism and bullishness in general from the top boss over there at ARK Invest, which is one of the issuers of the spot Bitcoin ETF. And I think that is now officially the 1,000th time I have said spot Bitcoin ETF of 2024 even.
It's probably true. We have to have said that a lot. It's crazy. I was thinking about it more. And this is technically, I'm not trying to make the argument for saying that it's not going to get approved because I think it will. I think it will be approved. But let's just say it does get approved. It is interesting that they went with that much cake on their face by getting hacked. Wouldn't it have made sense, Tishu, for them to just be like, oh, crap, someone leaked the approval? It looks really bad if we got hacked. Yeah, it's approved. All right, guys, figure out who hacked the computer. Let's get rid of them. Let's work with law enforcement. Let's just not tell anyone about this because it makes us look terrible. But no, Gary's like, oh, guys, it was hacked. Mm-hmm. And they didn't have two-factor authentication. Gary Gensler, you work for the Securities Exchange Commission. Security is in the name of your company and your title. How do you not know how to use basic online security with, again, your whole fear this whole time is price manipulation, and you allowed something to happen that manipulated price? It's not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, but this should be what does it for him. He should lose his job. And the truth is, he might. Because, of course, we already know the more conservative congressmen and congresswomen are already anti-Gary Gensler. But we've seen some even on the left now that maybe we're in support of not even seeing ETF approval. We saw congressmen who don't want a Bitcoin ETF to be approved kind of saying, Gary, this is egregious. What the heck happened? So does anybody like Gary at this point? I don't know. Maybe Rob, his brother. Maybe his brother's still like.
It is going to get going to get more complicated, certainly, Tim, because they have brought in another federal agency. That would be the FBI. SEC says FBI is investigating yesterday's hack on X. That's confirmed by Bitcoin Archive and Watcher.Guru. And so, if I'm Gary right now, I'm kind of shaking in my boots. You've got this sister agency that's coming in. It's going to be sniffing around. I'm saying, hey guys, look, Elon already looked into it. It's all good. Yeah, we got hacked. It's unfortunate. We're gonna start using two-factor authentication on our primary Twitter account. So I think they're gonna make that switch. So FBI, you guys just stay outside. You guys got plenty of stuff to investigate with the Biden family. Just leave us alone. We'll be okay. That's at least my attitude if I'm Gary, because I think he really is on thin ice, and this time he might have cracked it and is starting to slide through.
Dang. Well, this is good stuff. We got a lot of people coming here. Ada Ace. Love Ada Ace. And I think I forgot. I didn't chat about something he said last time, so I have to read Ada Ace comment. TA Tim, please use FNF11 on each screen behind you. It bothers me. LOL.
Nice. That is a Windows. It's
Okay.
a PC thing to make the toolbar
Yeah.
go away at the bottom.
Did you notice in my morning video t-shirt, I forgot to turn my monitors on this morning? It was rookie. Move.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Yeah.
I thought you'd been hacked. So I just assumed
Honestly, I thought about
everybody's
making
getting
that
hacked.
joke in the comment section, but I decided not to. I decided it was too soon.
Soon.
What's not funny, which is amazing, is we have over 600 people watching right now. Guys, this is officially the highest concurrent
right.
we have ever had for a live stream. And guess what? All of you watching right now, you are lucky. You want to know why you're lucky? Because you probably just found us. You probably are sitting here saying, hey, I just want to find out more about the ETF. Maybe these guys are pretty cool. Maybe they're going to tell us what happens when we get an approval. And that all is true. Every single word.
We're
definitely
cool.
very cool. But even more so, if you didn't have a reason to subscribe to us before, just because we're super cool and we're going to talk about ETFs for another long bit, we have a giveaway because we just crossed 7,000 subscribers. And in today's video, in the comment section, not in the chat, I love the chat. You guys can chat all you want. I love it. In the comments below the video, I will choose one tomorrow. If you subscribe to the channel and you follow T-Shroom and myself on Twitter, links in the description down below, and the Investing Bros Twitter, and comment the word approved, one lucky winner will receive $100 from the bros. So you guys are here for the right stream. What a coincidence.
Right.
Maybe this could be so cool. Maybe we give away $200 because this gets us up over 8,000 by the end of the day. That would be quite the approach.
That would be insane. Well, we've got some protesting in the chat, Tim.
Okay.
Josh Denham said, "I love you guys, but you are not cool." LOL. What do you guys think? Do you think we're cool? Peter Provost said, T-Shroom is cool. Tim is not.
And that's not cool, Peter. We know Peter's not cool.
Yeah.
Singling one of us out, trying to split the bros up.
That's right.
I feel like, T-Shroom, I think you're cool. Do you think I'm cool?
I think that you are way cooler than you deserve. I'll say that.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Good way of putting it. Let's see. And I think I've seen some names in here that obviously we have some regulars. We see a lot of names here that I've never seen before. Some names I haven't seen in a while. So it's good. Whether this is your first time viewing, your 5th time viewing, or your 1,000th time viewing, welcome. We're so glad you're here. Smash that like button. Hit subscribe. T-Shroom. We just got some gifted memberships from Mr. J. Oh, you guys are in for a treat, you members. Peter Provost is one. Okay, how did Peter get one? He doesn't even think I'm cool, and yet he gets the first membership. Goodness gracious.
Josh Denham got a membership. There you go, Josh.
There we go, Josh. Marco, what is it? Mark Crow got one. Yeah, Mitch Shaw. Oh, Mitch Shaw is an OG too. That name's been in here since I think the beginning of the channel.
That's right.
Glad you got that membership, Mitch. Again, so you guys can say approved right now in the chat, and I love it. I love that engagement. It's not going to enter you for the winning of the $100. It's got to be in the comment section down below. I don't know. Can you comment during the live stream, or do you have to wait for the live stream to be over?
I don't think you can comment during the live stream.
All right, so you guys are we're going to go a while longer. We have some more news we're going to talk about. We'll look at more charts. We'll answer some questions, but make sure when the live stream's over, even if you have to come back tonight, I'm not going to go through and then select, and we're going to find random selection until sometime around noon tomorrow. So you guys got plenty of time to get the comments in. You know it. So even if you're about to leave, maybe you have to go to dinner, or maybe you have to finish up some work, just come back tonight, leave the comment. Make sure you're following us on all the Twitter pages, and you're subscribed to the channel, and you'll be entered to win.
Absolutely. Bitcoin absolutely whipsawing. I feel bad for my mom, who I think is still watching, because she's still trying to get her head around Bitcoin. My parents went ahead and got some exposure to Bitcoin through Venmo, of all places. I know. That's
a way.
And they pay crazy fees on Venmo to buy it. But anyway, they bought it on there, and I'm telling them, look, this morning I said, hey, Bitcoin's taking a dip. You got to buy more. And my mom just doesn't understand that. And I get it. It is weird. If price is going down, why would you buy it? But here is the best way to think about assets that people don't think about it the right way. And I think it was I can't remember who used to say this. Mark Yusko. Mark Yusko was the one who introduced me to this concept. But so people don't think about assets like chicken in a grocery store. But if you got a text message saying your local grocery store is giving away a whole rotisserie chicken for $1, you would run in there, right? Because it's a sale. If you got a text message saying Publix or Kroger or Whole Foods or whatever it is is, every bag of chips in the whole store is only 50 cents, you would run into that store. You'd get in your car, you'd drive to the store, you'd get out, you'd try to be the first one in there to buy up a whole bunch of chips, right? Because then you'd be the chip king for the day, right? But people don't do that. People don't do that with the asset market for some reason, and that's the major misunderstanding. Is when you look at the chart here. Yes, the price of Bitcoin is going down, but you want to buy low and sell high. And so I think this is one of the most fundamental things of trading is yes, it's scary when price comes down. That is when fear does start to creep in and you make the decision that you shouldn't make, which is to sell for a loss oftentimes. But if you actually buy when price is low, that's when it's on discount, right? The chips are only 50 cents. But it is tough. It is unintuitive. We don't think about investments like we think about, items in a grocery store. And I think one of the first lessons to learn in trading is you need to. That's how you need to think about it. We talk about those little lessons every once in a while. We look at the charts in depth, and obviously it's much more complicated. How do you get the conviction to buy when the price is going down or when it's low? The answer to that is an infinity answer, right? There's no one simple answer. It really has to do with your level of conviction and your ability to read the charts and read the fundamentals behind the assets that you're trading. That's what it comes back down to.
Drew P makes a great point. He says you have to phrase it like this. Mom, Bitcoin is 10% off right now.
Yep.
Bitcoin is buy 9. What would it be? Buy 10, get 1 free?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. I think the other part of the piece of the puzzle she's not getting as well is when I told my dad to go ahead and buy a little Bitcoin, I only told him to buy 3. I'll go ahead and tell him 3 out of the 10 units of Bitcoin that he should buy. I'm not going to tell you. Well, I'll just tell you 3,000 out of the full 10,000 that I think they should have exposure to for their age, for their risk tolerance, and for their net worth. Right. 10,000 is a good amount of money that they could afford to lose in general. They might not think that, but I do. So anyway, $3,000 is not the whole pot of 10,000. Right. So she was thinking, but if the price has gone down since we initially bought, why would you buy more? Right. And that is the simple concept of dollar cost averaging. You're getting your average entry lower. If you bought in to an asset at $5 and it goes down to $3, you can change your average entry to, what would that be? 4, right? So that's what you want. Now you have bought in lower. You've actually magically turned that initial entry lower, right? By lowering your average entry. That's just one of the basic fundamental lessons of trading and investing. Is you don't invest it all at once. You go in block by block of your total portfolio that you're wanting to trade, and then you will have the best entry overall because you've waited for those dips. Now, if it just keeps going down and down into infinity, yeah, you lose. But that's why you should not be investing in things you don't think are going to go up, right? It doesn't just work on any asset on the New York Stock Exchange. It works only in assets that are going to go up. So that is a caveat that you should know. Bitcoin continues to outpace the rest of the market on the stock side and the crypto side in its consistency, in its track record, and its ability to predictably go up and to the right. Traders, investors have made a lot of money who apply basic lessons of trading. So I'm really excited about it, and I think hopefully, if my mom's still listening, she got some value out of that one.
Yeah, T-shirt. We got some breaking stuff here. Now, Bitcoin,
Okay.
go and share my screen. We're moving back up. We wicked down here below 45. We're back up, pushing closer to 46. So again, volatility. We still got lots of time though, guys. Volatility will lead all the way into 4 o'clock, and it'll surround 4 o'clock. We have some interesting news. Of course, we're seeing things like an hour ago, 2 hours ago, all these different ETFs. The tickers are labeled and ready to go and be traded tomorrow. But over here, Joshua Jake just posted this from CBOE. CBO. Please be advised that CBO BZX Exchange is withdrawing the Form 8A12B certification as originally filed on January 10, 2024 for following security Invesco Galaxy Bitcoin ETF. So not all of them, or at least we're waiting. Maybe they're doing this one at a time. But one of them has been withdrawn. Now, maybe there's something about it. Maybe even the SEC and Invesco are talking. They're like, hey, let's just make this one last change and resubmit. This could be that simple, but the chaos is not over. Like, this is getting crazier and crazier. I saw a tweet earlier. no matter what happens, whether we get an approval or denial, I don't think anyone can argue with the fact that this has been the most chaotic and unprofessional series of events by the SEC that we have ever seen.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Again, I will go ahead and let it be known. Gary Gensler deserves to lose his job. And I'm not just saying that because I love Bitcoin and he seems to be an enemy of it. And I love crypto. He seems to be an enemy of it. On principle of doing your job and doing it efficiently alone, Gary Gensler should lose his job. This is absolute and utter chaos. And unfortunately, and I'm saying that almost in a gist of like humor, but on a more serious note, his job is to protect consumers. And we know that's a bunch of BS. We know that the moves he makes are very coordinated and manipulated themselves. But this is utter ridiculous manipulation of price action, whether he means to or not. And so on one hand, let's say he meant for all this manipulation to happen. That's horrible. He's a terrible person. He should lose his job. On the other hand, if this is all an accident, well, guess what? Your job as chairman of the SEC is to make sure this stuff doesn't happen. And it is coming from your office. So you're terrible at your job. You deserve to lose your job. Either way, Gary Gensler should lose his job. T-Shroom, do you think his days are numbered at this point, or do you think that through all the chaos, he's going to continue to just fly and stay the chairman of the SEC as long as he can?
I'll go a step further. I think the only reason why we haven't heard Congress make a motion to vote on firing Gary Gensler is because he's behind the seat of a car that's going. He's behind the wheel of a car that's going 100 miles an hour right now. Right? Yeah. He needs to be, even though he's kind of taking it off a cliff, he needs to still be the leader in charge. I think that Hester Pierce is going to be a great replacement. But right now, she just hasn't been in all the conversations. She hasn't been, talking to all of the top people of BlackRock, Valkyrie, Vanguard, CBOE, all of them. And so I would make the argument he still needs to probably see this process through, but then swiftly needs to be removed. So now what I'll say, we do have an update on that update you just brought in, Tim. And after all, it's a watch party here, so we're taking it chapter by chapter. If you don't know who this is, Eric Bulkanis has already commented on this letter. He's
really?
Yes, he said this is a real document and sounds scary, but it's not significant. Period. That's probably all we need to know. But this is the Investing Bros. We go a layer deeper. We read the whole paragraph. Looks like CBOE jumped gun as SG Johnson put it, relisting announcement. No other exchange put one out, so SEC probably annoyed, probably wanted everyone to stand down till formal approval. If we hear anything beyond that, we will update you. For now, just ignore. Okay. That's Eric Bulkanis' official account. That's his take on this. I don't know that I quite agree with that, but I'm not exactly sure how I would form a counter argument to it. So what do you think about that one, Tim?
And he was responding to the stuff that I just read, right? He responded to the thing being taken down.
Yeah, the other thing here, I want to see what your copy of that letter looks like, but on the copy of the letter that he's retweeted, it's dated July 25th. What is the date on the letter that you had pulled up?
I went away from it, so don't go to my screen just yet. Let me look it up. I didn't think to even look there. No, the one I'm looking at says January 10th.
Interesting. What the heck?
So I don't even know. We had some super chat stuff come in here, so let's read that because we don't miss super chats here. By the way, 754 people now watching. Guys, you guys were fantastic. We're going to be live here again. Hopefully we get an announcement soon. We're not going to stay all the way till 6 p.m., but we're going to stay for a while. Hopefully we get to cover an actual announcement. But we did get another 10 gifted memberships from Matt C.
Let's go.
So shout out to every single one of you guys that got it. Of course, you guys know with our memberships, we just made some adjustments. There is now the bros section, which is where we're going to do all of our stuff here. So, yeah, we have a free section in our Discord as well. But the members, you get access to videos earlier than others. So every morning when I'm making my videos, we're going to start putting out some weekend videos from time to time. You guys will get access to them first. Then also, you'll have a level in the Discord where we're going to do a lot more in-depth, more intimate discussions about trading, about different coin projects. We're going to have all of that and more. So if you guys love the bros and you want to be a part, join it. If you just love us and you want to support us more, the Golden Diamond, there's no extra benefits, but if you just want to be a supporter and keep this channel going with the lights on, you guys can be a part of that. Join today. But thank you, Matt, for all those gifts. All of you guys, make sure to connect your YouTube to your Discord so you can get into those paid versions. We also got a super chat from Crimson Caravan Company saying, these two muffins sitting in an oven. One lean. There's these two muffins. Okay, I've read this wrong.
Is it a
There's
joke?
these two muffins sitting in an oven. It is a joke. It looks like one leans over and says, "Man, it is hot in here." The other turns and screams, "Ah! A talking muffin!"
Yes,
That's good.
I have heard this before, and that was life changing to be reminded of that joke in this moment. Did you read the super chat from Alt F4?
Yeah, Alt F4 gave $5. So thank you so much. Alt F4 says it's probably all planned out. SEC has been fudding crypto for the last few years to let their buddies get in. LOL, but that'll never be admitted. Of course, it would never be admitted because that would be manipulation.
Could you imagine if one day Gary Gensler just like submitted a YouTube video that was proven not to be fake, and in the video he's just like, "Guys, I just feel so bad, but I've been scamming the market. Me and my frat bros from Kappa Alpha, we've been manipulating the market, and we've made a lot of money, but I'm donating it all to the Red Cross, and I just feel terrible about it."
Chat is saying that we need check the official website, T-Shroom.
Okay. Is there been a...
Yeah, this is... I'm going to be honest. I'll be very surprised if the official website says it. Because, again, the chaos that would come if they approved it before the end of the trading day would be... Yeah, I'm just telling you guys right now. I'm not saying it's impossible because I'm not Gary Gensler. And with Gary Gensler, all things are possible. Not that he's God, but it's weird that sometimes when it comes to these
Bitcoin
things...
Bitcoin Archives is saying SEC Bitcoin approved.
But we've learned our lesson when it comes to Twitter. And messages on Twitter. We do not trust Twitter messages. We trust the SEC. Now, Bitcoin is going to the upside. It's not doing anything crazy. We're not seeing crazy volume come in on the 5-minute chart necessarily. But yeah, Zindagi photo. They're going to announce it on the website. Do not worry, guys. We'll be here for it.
So nothing yet from the Twitter Twitter account that accidentally our guest got hacked yesterday and tweeted it out. So nothing from that quite yet. Zero Hedge. Let's see if Zero Hedge has updated anything. Nothing yet from Zero Hedge. I do have a Bitcoin Archive update, which, there's a chance that anything could get hacked right now. But now you do have Watcher.Guru saying SEC approves first spot Bitcoin ETF. Again, that's all it is so far. I'm not calling it just yet. Here.
Yeah, the price would be skyrocketing or dropping like a rock right now. It's not doing that. Now, someone said the GBDC is ripping near par.
Yeah. I'm still not calling it yet. I'm reloading the sec.gov website, and it's giving me a little bit of a lag here. Let's see if CNBC's website has called it quite yet. Yeah. Nothing on the major news websites quite yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still waiting with bated breath. I'll go over to the screen. It's not loading for some reason. Oh, I think it did refresh. So still nothing on the press release website. This would be here if it was accepted.
There will be some confirmation. We'll see on this site. You'll also see now. This is I'm surprised, and I'm actually a little bit encouraged by the maturity of Bitcoin buyers and sellers. The price is going to go nuts when it happens. So the fact that price isn't going nuts with all of these fake tweets going out, which I'm also a little. I want to know. Like I'm not going to get upset for no reason. But some of those accounts that you just showed, T-Shirt, that were saying approved, those are good accounts that have trustworthy resources.
Goodness gracious, Tim.
So why would they do that early? That's a little.
I don't know. The plot thickens here. We've got Wolf of All Streets has said Bitcoin spot approved, and then there's a link. That link leads to a oops page not found 404. So the chaos continues into Wednesday, Tim. It's just they cannot get it right. Now the website that I've been, it's still a .gov. And it is still, they're still not seeing a new entry for today.
Someone through the door just yelled approved. I think it was Kelly, but I could be wrong.
I mean, I think we're in a situation where we're just not going to know legitimate. I think that there's a possibility it has been approved, but I'm not seeing it from the .gov website. I want to see it from that website. The link that I found to a .gov website, it says this, oops, page not found, 404 error. So I don't know.
And again, there's like no volume. The price is not doing anything. I mean, listen, those accounts that are saying approved are good accounts. Like they don't just make crap up. They're not there to catch eyeballs and likes. They're there to report the news. Now, all right, here we go. Bitcoin moving, but again, it's just not moving significantly. And then look at the volume on the 5-minute, guys. We're going to see the volume go nuts on the 5-minute. Let's see. Yesterday, for example, just to show you guys, this was the announcement yesterday. Look at the volume compared. I mean, this is somewhat high volume somewhere in here, but look at how boring everything else is. We will see like amazing volume come in when this is approved. Again,
Yeah.
I think this is a government website. It is people are saying in the comments it's official, T-shirt. I'm not seeing the evidence, and I need to see the evidence. And you know what? Even if we're late, we're going to make sure that when we say that it's approved, that we make sure that we are right and there's no sort of chaos that comes afterwards. So keep refreshing.
I just don't know why they would wait till so close to the market close and then not close it at the end, like once the market's closed.
Yeah, we got 10 minutes.
Why would they try to? Why would they try to condense all of the trading into 10 minutes of the trading day? Hearts of the Fathers said short. Well,
yeah, I don't know.
Not
you might
approved,
just be in here trying to
being
cause chaos,
delayed for more adjustments. Yeah, I don't know about that.
It's going to be chaos here, guys. Going to be chaos here. I am assuming that we're going to see a lot of tweets of people trying to spread all the information out and confuse everyone. Yeah. So we're waiting. We are waiting.
Zero Hedge still has not said anything about it. Zero Hedge, of course, being I wouldn't call it legacy. It's definitely not legacy media, but it's been around for a long time, since January 2009, this account. They have a really weird profile that don't think about anything of. It's just a troll. I don't know why they do that, but this is the official Zero Hedge. I think it's from a movie. I think it might be from Fight Club, which gives you, some people might understand that. But zero like no indication of the ETF being passed here. So and he is updating in real time. So nothing quite yet here.
It's crazy. Let's take a look at some.
Around.
Let's take a look while we're doing that.
Do it.
You refresh, and then let's go to my chart. Yeah, you tell me if you see anything. So again, volume's not crazy. Price is still hanging in here. We're waiting and watching. Let's take a look. Ethereum making a push back up at that resistance level we talked about earlier. It's making a push here. Let's take a look. Let's go some further out on Ethereum and just look at some levels that could be enticing. Again, it is looking like Ethereum could be about to move big. No matter what the news is, I do believe Ethereum is going to potentially be leading the markets here very soon. One of the reasons why, even over on ETH over Bitcoin chart, of course, you guys know we've talked about that a good amount, but we are seeing it make a nice bounce back above support, and it's got room to the upside. Daily chart, we definitely got room to the upside. We haven't been overextended and overbought on ETH over Bitcoin since, I would even say, even though we went over 70, I would say since back in May of 21. So this chart, it's been dying to get back to being somewhere even close to being extended and overbought. Let's take a look back at the Ethereum chart, though, and look at some areas. You got something updating?
It appears as though it is. I still am I'm hesitant to completely call it, but Eric Bulkanis has called it here. Order granted, accelerated approval. It's over, thank God. Let's see what this image says. Pursuant to section blah, blah, blah. A lot of boilerplate here. Proposed rule changes to list and trade shares in the following. Proposes to list and trade shares. Oh, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust and Bitwise. Okay, so maybe just the Grayscale saga is over. So he hasn't said Bitcoin spot approval approved. That's not what's been said here. It's only the accelerated approval granted to the GBTC. And someone in the chat did say that the GBTC was going crazy, the NAV on that. Let me see if I can pull that up really quickly. Let's see. If I go over to Y charts where you can see the NAV, I mean, it's still negative. But it is narrowing. It doesn't look like it's narrow. Oh, I'm on the 1 year chart. I don't think it goes lower than the 1 year. So yeah, I mean it's slimming as of now, as of yesterday to today. This does not tell me enough that I can comfortably call anything.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, let's go back over.
Eric said shocker site is down. So yeah, keep going with the charts, Tim. The charts.
Let's talk about Ethereum here. What are we looking at potentially on levels? I can't really tell you anything to the upside. We'll have to zoom out further for the upside. Let's talk about downside. Equilibrium on the 1 hour coming in here at 23.30 would be amazing to go down that far. Of course, order blocks go even lower. 18% here on the hourly, coming back down to 23.6. We have some down here at 23.2. We have some down here at 26. Where's the majority of this probably coming in, though? Majority at 40% coming here at 22.38. Could be interesting. You are seeing Ethereum building bearish divergence here. You're seeing bearish divergence. You're seeing the red dot come in on our LUX Algo oscillator here. Let's even take a look here. Money flow is technically still flowing to the upside, but it is below that little trend, so that's not overly bullish. It does look like potentially you could at least are seeing Ethereum's rally cool off. Now, of course, news is news, guys. It doesn't matter really what the charts look like. If something breaks and is chaotic, we're going to see all this kind of hit the fan. But there is levels down below us. Again, if we see volatility in Ethereum, I'm keeping my eyes. 23.55 and 22.41 look interesting. Let's take a look at their liquidation levels, because with the rally they're making, they're definitely leaving behind them a wake of yellow. And it's not a lot, but it's some. Where are we seeing that yellow come in at heavily? 23.50. Going back to the chart, what did we say? We said there's an order back here at 23.50. All right. So overwhelmingly, I would not be surprised to see Ethereum come back there. If you're looking for an entry, if you believe Ethereum's going to go nuts here in a little bit, you might want to take a look at an entry right there on 23.55, give or take, because that is where liquidations are saying that could be interesting. Let's look at 7-day here on Ethereum and see if there's anything that's leaving well behind. Now, there's yellow way down low at 21.55. There's some yellow even as low as 1,800. We talked about that before. If we get that normal pullback that these pre-halving cycles have, Bitcoin 30 to 40%, Ethereum and altcoins maybe closer to 50 to 60%. Yeah, we're talking about 1,800. But for now, I see more of a room. Could we see a spike up to that 2,700, 2,800 level we talked about? We do have liquidation sitting up there as well. Those are levels we're kind of looking at here with Ethereum. And, of course, going out to a longer time frame, let's take a look here. Let's go daily chart. Take a look at Ethereum from a more micro perspective. Let's look at fixed range volume here for Ethereum and see what we got going on above us. Value area high coming at 26.46. Definitely going to be interesting. We're right now in a little bit of valley, so that would make sense if we kind of stop here for a second and then maybe move to the downside before going back up, because this is a position of resistance along with that rising level of resistance. But 2,600, we might even go a little higher than the value area high. Maybe take a look closer towards that 2,700 on Ethereum, and then we're talking about maybe to the upside. Let's take a look at where we're looking on the yearly. I think I put a line up here. Yeah, yearly interesting spot's going to be 36.71. We're nowhere close to it, but that is where we closed out in 2022. So that's something to be looking at. And then let's take a look at the 3-month here as well. We closed out the last quarter, the quarter 3. Quarter 4 is not closed yet because it's running into this year. I don't know why the chart measured it like this, but keep an eye on potentially right here. 22, almost 23 is where quarter 3 of 2023 closed. So if we start to drop to the downside, that's another interesting level. If there's crazy volatility, keep your eyes on those. Mr. J just gifted another 5 members. Man, we're going to have a lot of members.
Let's go.
A lot of members. Make sure you guys are connecting. Welcome all of you guys who are new members. Make sure you're connecting to the Discord so you get access to all the cool stuff there. You'll also get, again, access to our pre-recorded videos early.
Yeah.
So that is a nice perk. So, now, Bitcoin shooting up. I think we're back over 46 now.
Yeah, let's jump over and see some of the fundamental reasons why there might be this big move in price. Oh, go back over. Yeah. Are we? Oh, wow, we're moving. We're moving now for Bitcoin. Tim, the way that I feel right now is that it has been approved, but the government website is broken. There's a 404 error because so many people are checking this page. I'm starting to be under the impression that it has been approved.
Possibly.
And that we're just not seeing it. There has been nothing posted on the SEC's Twitter, so that they may have just foregone going ahead and updating people through that means that got hacked yesterday and ensued a lot of trauma to traders. Guys, you're tuned in to the Investing Bros. We go live at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we do that every single weekday. Thank you so much for joining us. We understand that some of you will never return to this channel, but we really appreciate you tuning in and hanging out with us for this momentous moment in crypto. Continuing to refresh government websites that should be issuing updates, but they are still not. The 2 government websites I have pulled up here.
It's crazy because didn't you have an update come in while we were live earlier? So the website was working a little bit earlier, but
that was earlier.
Maybe too many
today.
people hitting refresh like you. Maybe there's too many people on the website right now hitting refresh.
Yep. So this one, it doesn't say the date at the time, but this one came in earlier this morning. So as of now, I'm still not officially calling it. But I'm also not going to say. I mean, it's definitely not a coincidence that all of these channels are publishing documents as well, right? So I think that there is a good chance that it has been approved. It's just the press release site for the SEC.gov has not been updated. And I'm not surprised. I mean, we're seeing nothing but incompetence again and again from the SEC. So the Cabesi letter has posted that it's been passed. So all of our favorite X accounts are posting it. But there's a chance that there's some kind of coordinated meme going around, and we were left out.
Well, so again, we did have here the Bitcoin Realist in our Discord actually shared I think this is what you read earlier though, T-Shroom. Again, it's a picture, and like it could be, but it's hard to verify. We're pumping, but the volume is still not really what you would expect. The volume you would think would be a little bit crazier here if we were in fact getting the news. I wonder. Yeah, and people are saying check Watchdog Guru. Well, Watchdog Guru has been saying it's been live here for a little bit, so of course. In a season where we've had chaos leading up to the approval, the actual announcement and the approval itself would be chaotic just like this. I do think I'm leaning towards T-Shroom saying I believe that people are right this time. I do believe it's approved. We're just not seeing the signs and the evidence of it coming to fruition, which is a little frustrating.
It's just certain parts of the country have access to the servers that you can download the PDF from the SEC.gov website, and others don't. And we happen to be in a place where they don't. So that's strange. It's still not available, and it's still not updated on the press release website. There is a chance that they just don't update it doesn't rise to the par of these types of announcements, that it's not on the press release. There is a chance of that because there is another link that this was posted by Wolf of All Streets, and this is where he's leading it to, leading traffic to go check, but it still has this 404 error. More than likely because the servers weren't able to handle the traffic of folks trying to come in and download the PDF. But as you can see here, Wolf of All Streets is showing that the entire PDF here, just kind of scrolling through it. So I am under the impression now that it has been approved. Price. Let's jump over to price and see how it's responding.
I think it's funny because someone even just commented, they're like, we tuned in. I think this Sam Spicer said, we tuned in for you two to find out and tell us if it's approved or not. Well, you know what? Gary's making this harder than it should be to find out if it's approved or not. And what's crazy is that's the age we live in. The age we live in is where you're like, I don't know when I actually believe the information. We are seeing it all over Twitter from very trustworthy accounts saying it is official. We're seeing document pictures. Of course, you would want to see it on the website to be 100% certain, but we're seeing document pictures saying that it has happened. So the market is closed. I would believe that is happening here. What I was looking at here, in case you guys are wondering on my screen, this is Cardano. Cardano had a nice little pump over the last couple of 5-minute candles. Ethereum is having a nice pump, approaching that 2,500. Bitcoin pulling back. Bitcoin's pulling back 45.8. Excuse me. I don't know why I said 48. 45.8. And here's what I will say. Again, I do believe that it is approved, but the chaos will continue. Do not be surprised. If you guys are wondering, Tim, those buy orders that you put in earlier, are you now scared of them? No, I'm not. A, we're not even seeing crazy volume come in here. But B, if we are approved, and again, I think we are. Someone said link is working. It's real. Okay, try it again, T-Shroom. If it is approved, there will be chaos all the way until the opening next morning. Tomorrow morning is when I think potentially you do see massive green candles coming in up back above 50,000. But I'm not going to be surprised, actually, especially how we're responding right now, if we don't go to 50,000 tonight. I think maybe we go back up definitely towards, there's an order block up here at 46.5. Maybe we come back up and rematch, maybe set 47,000 again and come up closer to 48,000 where we were. There's an order block up here again. Okay, yeah, 70% order block up here at 47.8. Yeah, maybe we go all the way up to 47.8. That's very possible. But I still feel like I'm pretty certain we're going to see some volatility. Not going to be surprised whatsoever to see 44,400 hit, maybe even lower. Hey, at this point, again, with what we're seeing happen, literally anything is possible. So what should you do with this information? With anything is possible. With the fact that, we've had so many fake call-outs from the SEC. Bind Luda now saying 5:25 p.m. announcement. Does that mean there's a video going live at 5:25?
I have no idea. I've never seen that account before, so I don't know.
Need to look into that one. So my point here is you need to be prepared for anything. I can tell you this right now. Spot Bitcoin, you don't need to worry about setting stop losses or anything. you would have to see the Bitcoin price go to zero to get liquidated. So if you want to acquire more Bitcoin for a pump to the upside, this might be the time to do it. If you want to leverage trade, that is where I say, hey, do not try to FOMO in to trends. Look for good buy spots, have some tight stop losses, and maybe set a couple of them. I set two. I have one at 44,400. I have another one at about 42.5, right? Just in case it goes that low. Maybe neither one of them gets triggered, and that's okay with me because I already have my spot Bitcoin Bitcoin price. I already am ready for a rally to happen, and I'll make a lot of money in doing so. You guys need to make sure you're taking care of yourself. This is the type of news and the type of market that is built to wreck brand new retail investors. And when I say brand new, I'm not talking about like, have you been in Bitcoin for a year or 10 years or whatever. I'm talking about Bitcoin traders who are not used to trading and who are more prone to respond emotionally to price action than to look at the actual levels. Make sure you're doing your TA. Make sure you're doing your research. Look for those proper levels because I can tell you right now, even though I've been trading for a while, I still to this day will choose levels and I'll think to myself, Tim, you're a little too aggressive. Why'd you go that far? And then if I had just waited for an hour or two, it was the perfect spot because the markets are fickle. The markets are volatile on the normal basis, even more so when we have chaos from the freaking SEC. So I want to encourage you guys, do not freak out. Continue to think with your head. Bitcoin trading again here at 46,000. Guys, we have 1,100. I saw 1,200 concurrent. Yeah. So this continues to far and beyond be our highest viewed stream. Thank you so much for being here. I wish it was easier to tell you guys this. I wish it was not so sloppy and the SEC was actually a professional entity that had their stuff together and didn't get hacked and didn't have their website shut down at the most critical, important moment in Bitcoin's history. But unfortunately, that's the world we live in. We live in a world where Gary Gensler is still the chairman of the SEC, and chaos is a daily practice for them. So I do apologize. But it is looking like, T-Shroom, unless we hear something crazy different over the next couple of hours, that we do, in fact, have an approved spot Bitcoin ETF. An early expectation is that we should be trading them live tomorrow. Yep. How about that?
Yep. So a couple of updates here from different media sources. Still nothing from the government sources that I can click on, but we are seeing that people in the chat are able to click on this link specifically. So Zero Hedge said, I'm happy to confirm the Grayscale team has received necessary regulatory approval to uplist GBTC to New York Stock Exchange ACRA and will share a press release with additional information shortly, Grayscale spokesperson. So, you know, there's definitely still some room for that to not be true. But let's see. Nothing from the Securities and Exchange Twitter, which is not a huge surprise. There could be multiple reasons why that's not the case. I have everything on this list that I have put together is indicating that it has been approved, and all of the ones that were approved, which is it looks like all of them. But here, if we go into the mainstream media, the BBC Business has not published this yet. This would be a pretty good smoking gun, credible source. It hasn't published it yet. Wall Street Journal hasn't published it yet. I'll go ahead and refresh that. CNBC still has has breaking news. Dow, where the Dow is closing, unrelated, and is not running this headline just yet. But I will say, Forbes Crypto said this time the SEC means it. This was posted at 3:50 today, January 10th. You can see the time on this. Yeah. The BlackRock, Grayscale, among 11 firms finally approved for spot Bitcoin ETF. So they're calling it over at Forbes Crypto, but like I said, BBC Business still not.
Here's what I'll say. The other thing is, there's no way that 2 days in a row there's this big of blunders. You'd have to imagine it's approved. You know what? There's the announcement, T-shirt. You have won the bet. You will be receiving $35 to Longhorn Steakhouse because we did get an approval by the 10th. Congratulations. Everyone else watching, thank you so much for being here. Remember, again, in this video, if you comment below, you will be entered. You got to be subscribed to the channel. You got to follow all 3 Twitter accounts, mine, T-Shrooms, and Investing Bros. Check out those down below. You guys will be entered in with that comment of saying the word approved for an $100 giveaway we'll be announcing tomorrow on the live stream. So come back and check that out. T-Shroom, unless you have anything else, it is looking like, unless your website changed, that is all we have for this video. We stayed live till 4:10. We had our watch party. It's been awesome tracking this sucker and keeping up to date with it every single day. Now it's time to start discussing Ethereum's spot ETF, but we'll save that hype for tomorrow. Guys, smash the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel, and we will see all of you tomorrow again. Take care. Adios.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shrooms news got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.
Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros.